wasn't until the year 2020 in September where my wife gave birth to my daughter prematurely. She was born at 2 pounds 11 ounces. And a week later, I actually ended up in the hospital, almost losing my life. My name's Emmanuel Zepeda, and I gave my life to Jesus about 7 years ago. I was born in Brawley, California, and both my parents were heavily involved in drugs. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home, so much that I ended up in the foster care. At this time, I would reflect in my life and think like, God, like, if you're real, I need something. I didn't know when I was gonna see my family. I didn't know if I was ever gonna see my family again. And it wasn't until we moved to San Diego that we got introduced to the Potter's house. And yeah, I was attending church for a while, but it was more just a filler for my Sundays and my Wednesdays. Until, I started missing services here and there until I completely just left the church. And in this time, what happened was I was believing, I was seeing the world, I was seeing people happy, I was seeing people having fun, and that's something that I wanted. And so, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, hanging out with the wrong people, so much that it corrupted me, and I wanted to become more like them. And it wasn't until one of my friends who knew me when I was saved and knew me after told me that you changed, something's wrong with you. And I looked at him, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just as bad. And he's like, no, like, there's something wrong with you and you should go back to church. And this kind of took me back for a second. I was just like, here's this guy that's never been to church telling me about God. And I just thought that was weird, but it also really convicted me. And in this time, I was already having thoughts, God, what is my life going to be about? And I feel like God was challenging me to where I was either going to have to make a decision whether I was going to go live for this world or live for Him. So in 2015, I went back to church and I raised my hand and I told God, if you're real, I need you to change me. I need a true conversion. I need something to change in my life. I need to be happy. I want to have joy in my life. And so once I lifted my hands, I felt this weight off my shoulder. Like God took so much of the depression, of the loneliness off of my life. And during this time, in 2017, I got married. I had 2 children. And it wasn't until 2020 where my daughter was born, and she was born prematurely at 2 pounds 11 ounces. And after that, a week later, I ended up in the hospital almost losing my life. During this time, I was thinking like, God, like, what if I were to die right now, would I make heaven my home? And I wasn't confident enough to say yes. So God really challenged me in my heart, and I really like, God, like, what do I need to do? And one thing that I wasn't doing was surrendering. And it wasn't until I told God, like, I'm gonna give you everything. I'm gonna live for your will, not making plans in my life, but what you want from me. And it wasn't until then that God actually just completely just started blessing me, started using me. And I got like this happiness. I got this, just this good, feeling in my life and joy in my heart. And it blessed my marriage. It blessed my children. And I'm just here to encourage everyone out there that if you are in the church or if you're not, that Jesus is the only way to true joy. Don't do the same mistake. Don't fall into the same lie that I did and believe that this world had so much to offer me, because it had nothing to offer me. Just empty promises. My name is Emmanuel Zepeda, and this is my life.